We back, bringing you a Britra raid guide. Now, this isn't your usual raid guide, as most are normally speed runs. This is I'm too lazy to gear my units constantly guide. Now, you'll see that we have this wonderful Maria Jinbora team going on here, and the distinct lack of Jushiun because he's not needed if you have Jinbora. But as you can sit here and see, only these first four units are needed for this, which is Maria, Adamant Shield, Jinbora, and you can sit here and tell from her gear that I didn't really put much thought into this. It's not min-maxing, it's just I auto-filled with the recommended A speed here. That's what it gave me. Sigmo on 76. I think 72 would be fine, but unfortunately I can't test that because I only have one CDR set for mechs, as that's all you ever really need. Singia on, what is this? Replica set with just a 70 or 67% skill haste. And then Sky on her unique set that pretty much never gets used on anyone, so it just kind of lives on her. I do eventually want to change this, but the Swift, but you know, with this. Then after that, Dorothy doesn't need this, but again, it pretty much just sits on her because nobody else can use this. Then we have ungeared unit. Agnes here with her unique set, which is a tank A-speed set. Xiaolin with her anti-striker attack set that basically will go on nobody else but her. Same with Rosaria with her A-speed with some polymers. You can see the stats aren't really, you don't really want skill haste on her, but it's on her. Another ungeared debuffer here. Chifu with just her EE. Lucretia with no gear whatsoever. Dengia with an autofill that I did at some point. Soyun, same thing, autofill. As you can see, some reason it likes to give the EE whenever you autofill on a character. Wow, GS says a lot. Okay, but yeah, the whole point of this is I really don't want to have to gear anything constantly for Brita whenever it comes up. And none of these gear sets affect my dive team, which is what's usually currently always geared. And at some point, as you can sit here and see, I started saving my entire raid set so I could sit there and go through and gear everybody. But nobody's, you know, nobody is probably going to sit here and buy maybe past the third tab. And it's ridiculous to sit here and have to save, you know, 24 characters, 16 characters, gear sets. Realistically, you only need 3 tabs total at best. One for counters, one for your mech and soldiers, and then a third one for whatever unique sets you have, and then so forth, you know, co-op maybe. But beyond that, I could just sit there and hit the start button, hit it and forget it. So with that, let's go ahead and check out the run. So if you're like me, then you're probably just going to sit there, hit the start button, go back and start watching whatever you were watching, playing whatever other game you were playing, or, you know, back to work. So you're not really paying attention to when the game ends or when the raid's over. And in all honesty, the 3 minutes times 2 is only a minute and a half total. So even if you sit there and save 10 seconds on a run, it's really only saving yourself 5 seconds in a long run. And it doesn't really make sense that, you know, that you're going to be sitting there watching for it to end and to start the next one, especially if your raid tab is empty most of the time. Now, as you sit here and see that after Aegea, your team is fine. If everything is outranging, you're using things like ASY, Maria, snipers, basically any sniper. You could even sit there and use Orochi instead as a DPSer. Everybody's fine. Everybody's safe. The admin and soldierman die after 2 minutes, but Sigma's little robot comes in as tanks, and your team is safe again. And then after that, at the last minute, all your front line for counters will sit there and come out, and then they'll be fine as well. They get bonus resistance, if I remember correctly, or they take less damage. The boss. So them being ungeared isn't the worst thing in the world. But after, yeah, like I was saying, after the first 5, everything else is just either DPS, debuffers. I chose mine because, like I said, those gear sets are unique in the sense that I probably won't ever use them on anybody other than those characters themselves. And even if I do, if after like I sit there and play PvP, I could just go back and re-gear them at that point, and then more than likely it won't ever come off of them. And even then, most of those gear sets and gear pieces I don't use in PvP all that often. So it works out in the end that I can just sit there and say start and then go, and it clears consistently. So we take that. And as you can see from here, the DPS, Maria doing the most because she has the best gear set on, and then everybody else after that. There you have it, the Lazy Man's Guide on Brita. This team could go faster if I fully gear everything, and it could even faster if I use a different team comp, but personally I don't like re-gearing everything anytime I want to take care of my raid. So let me know what you guys think. As always, feel free to leave a comment or catch me on Discord. Link will be in the description. If you want to help support this channel, you can also find a link for that in the description, and I will see you all next time.